What is going on today, guys? Tomcat here, and welcome back to GTA 5, where we're going to be taking a look at another heist. Now, this is actually a setup for an actual heist. You have two different options with these heists. You have the setup portion, then you also have the heist portion. Now, you do not need to do them in that order. I did my first heist before ever doing my first quote-unquote setup mission. But the deal with this mission was you're dealing with 4 players, and it's basically a... It's a combination of things. You're working with a little bit of target defense and a lot of just basically waves of enemies, almost horde mode kind of stuff. If you remember horde mode from Gears of War, and then the Saints Row spin-off of it, you know what we're dealing with here. Now, again, you get to pick your own vehicles to use in this, and this was actually before I customized my Guardian truck, and it's in this ridiculous red and orange color scheme. Looks absolutely ridiculous. But the whole deal with it was the fact that I was actually late to the mission because of the fact that everybody else was in somewhat quick cars. And actually, while we're on this topic, the dash in this thing is pretty freaking sweet. But back to the task at hand. This thing, while it's cool and it's, you know, it's this massive truck and everything and it's all badass, it's really slow. Compared to pretty much every other vehicle, it's pretty damn slow, and people will leave you behind really quickly. They'll leave you behind and you will be pretty much out of the mission. Unless you have a, I would say, maybe if this thing were to have a fully built engine, turbo, everything's, you know, set up on it, then it might be different, as my setup is now. But this was on the stock setup, so quite slow indeed. Now, I have edited out all of the cutscenes. There would have been a cutscene before this mission started, but I generally have been editing out the cutscenes from these heists just for a couple of reasons. One, because Rockstar isn't a fan of people putting their cutscenes up on YouTube, and two, I feel like the cutscenes, I feel like that's something that people should really experience in the game. Like, if you want to see how the heist actually plays out, and the dynamics of how the heist plays out, that's one thing, but I feel like the heists themselves should be kind of, not the heists themselves, but the cutscenes themselves should kind of be a surprise. It's ridiculous also coming in and parking next to everybody. Look how huge that freaking truck is. Dude looking all proper and everything. Now, my job during this heist, or this, again, setup mission, was to observe the situation from a vantage point, and then I was also part of the defense later on. And the thing with that is, I didn't actually get that many kills because of the fact that everybody else stayed down there, right? Everybody else stayed down there except for the other lookout, quote unquote. And you can't really see the enemy. Now, our other scout took quite a bit of time getting up there, so I decided to cut on to where the FIB actually figured out our position. And, I mean, you can see it's just absolutely swarming all over the place, starting this basically horde mode kind of sequence. And from my vantage point, I mean, I was able to get a few kills, but nothing ridiculous, just because of the fact that, number one, you had a bunch of guys down there, kind of as like a front line of defense, right? And then you also had people coming in from the sides. So as you can see on the map, you got people to the left of me, and you also got people behind me. And the thing about it is, there's all these random corners, like random building corners that you're always having to, the only way you can really get around those is to like bounce a grenade off the wall. And I do that a couple of times, and it works for the most part, but I would much rather shoot than just sit and toss grenades. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I get kind of bored just sitting and tossing grenades. Now, I guess I enjoyed this mission. It's not quite as in-depth, obviously, as a full-on heist would be, right? These are kind of like, what I feel like they are is they're almost like little, they're called setups again, but they're basically like little training missions almost for the actual setup of a heist. I mean, I feel like if you're a new player, then it might be better for you to play some setup missions before you do some heists, just because of the fact that the heists are going to be a little bit more, like the full-on heists are going to be more challenging. There's going to be more going on, and there's going to be more needed out of you as a player. But I feel like these setup missions really do a good job of kind of introducing players to the concept of heists. And then the more of these setups you play, you're like, okay, I'm good, I got this. And then this dude just appeared out of nowhere. He's just like, what's up? And he was like what's up? I feel like I'm, most likely gonna eat now. And then we were just like, nah, bro. You're good. So, the thing is, it's a really simple mission. It's basically do the little horde mode, and then get out of there. The only thing was, the dude took off in a car that had a pop tire, and I was like, at this point, I was like, you know what? He probably didn't realize. I was like, he probably didn't realize it, or he probably just wanted to get the hell out of there. I don't know. I'm just gonna let him do what he does. I was thinking of, like, getting out and getting another car, but I was like, you know what? We're already running. We might as well stay in this particular car. Now, the next heist I'm probably gonna upload. Well, you know what? Actually, scratch that. I'm not gonna try and make a plan for the next heist I'm gonna upload, because I get invites to so many different heists, and when I join one, it's always kind of random which heist I do. So I'm gonna try and upload as many different heists as possible. I may upload heists that I've done before just with full voice chat. I feel like if I do one with full voice chat, that might be a little bit more entertaining, and I might be able to upload that same heist again. But for the most part, I want to keep all of these heists brand new. And as you guys have probably noticed recently, all of my commentaries have been post-recorded and not live. And don't worry, we will be getting back to the live stuff very, very soon. I enjoy doing the live stuff. I actually enjoy doing the live stuff more than the post-recorded stuff. But again, it all depends on what you have to work with at hand. And I mean, I was just getting a feel for heists at this point. And I kind of felt like after I did a few of them, just focusing on the game, not focusing on live commentary or anything like that, I felt a lot more comfortable with them. And I definitely, at this point, definitely feel comfortable enough, at least with the concept of, I'm not saying I'm some god at GTA or anything, because I'm not. I've still got a ton to learn. I feel like a lot of GTA players still have a ton to learn. I mean, clearly, look at the scoreboard, clearly. But, again, you don't get as much money for these setup missions either, but they are fun. They are a nice component to have in the game, and I definitely thoroughly enjoyed it. So, if you guys enjoyed this shorter look at a setup heist mission, then don't forget to leave me a like. Tell me in the comment section down below what you guys thought of it, and I will be back very, very soon with another full-on heist. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, and again, hope you guys enjoyed.